Am I wrong for being honest with my daughter and telling her she's a disappointment when she asked for my honest opinion about her decision to be a mother at 18? I have two daughters, 23F, 20F. They are both so beautiful and smart, and I really love them both. I always wanted them to be strong and independent women who could stand on their own feet, and I tried to raise them that way. They were both interested in volleyball. I always supported their interest. My younger is still playing in a team and also studying at a good university. She is really hardworking, and even if she does not succeed in playing professional volleyball, she will definitely have a good job. My older daughter quit both sports and school when she got pregnant at the age of 18. When she first told us that she was pregnant, I was very upset and advised her to not have the baby because having a child at such a young age would disrupt her life. She did not want to have an abortion, and my wife supported her decision. To be honest, I was very insistent on her having an abortion at that time, but when I saw that she remained determined, I dropped the issue and supported her fully, even though I didn't want to. She got married quickly with the baby's father. Then she decided to stay at home and take care of her child, and her husband started to work. I never wanted my daughter to be financially dependent on her husband, but I never voiced it either. But of course, my daughter knows that I'm bothered by this. Yesterday we were having dinner with my daughters and my wife. My wife and daughter started talking about being a mother. My wife told her that even though I wanted her to not have the baby, I love my grandson very much now. My daughter asked me if that was so, and I said, of course I love him. I really love my grandson. But my daughter knew that I was bothered by her situation, so it didn't sound sincere at all. My daughter said I could give an honest answer. I told her that I really love my grandson, but that I was disappointed that she had become a mother at an early age, had left school and her job, and was now dependent on a man. She didn't argue with me, but the rest of the night was a bit tense. At the end of the night, she went home and my wife started a fight over what I said. I told her that she was the one who wanted an honest answer, but my wife is sure that I'm an a-hole. My younger one agrees with me but says I was rude to say it out loud. So am I wrong here? Edit. I'm not sorry that my daughter doesn't live the life I want. I'm sorry that she lives dependent on another person, and I can't say that their marriage is going very well. They chose the sport they wanted to be interested in, the university they wanted to go, or their hobbies, etc. I didn't force anything on them. All I want is for them to be self-sufficient. I also told my daughter that I would pay for a babysitter if she wanted to go back to school or get a job. Yes, she is only 23 years old and could still have a career, but she's not doing that. Relevant comments. Question. Is your daughter happy being a wife and mother? I'm going to say YTA, even though I can understand being disappointed. That said, please keep in mind that being a successful parent isn't about raising child to be who you want them to be, but raising them to be confident in who they want to be. If your daughter is happy, then that's all that matters. Opie. For being a mother, yes. For being a wife, I'm not sure. They don't have the best marriage because they only knew each other for 8 months when they got married. I know they don't do very well together. I wouldn't be surprised if they divorce soon. Comment. Even if what you say is true, your daughter needs to know that you love her and you're going to be there for her if her marriage does end. You don't want her to go through life thinking she can't come to you for support. That is the worst thing you could convey to her. Opie. If one day they divorce, I will always be there for her and she already knows that. But I won't live forever. She should be able to survive without my support. That's why I want my daughters to be people who make their own money. Comment. Does she know that since everything you have offered here would make me feel like you didn't love me if I was your child? Opie. Throughout my life, I have given my daughters all the support I could give them, and in the case of their marriage, I paid a year's rent in advance for their house, organized their wedding, and supported her throughout her pregnancy, after I dropped the abortion issue and motherhood. I really don't need to tell her again and again that I'm there for her. She knows that. Comment. That's about money. What about emotional support? Opie. Supported her throughout her pregnancy and motherhood. Is the part where I stated my emotional support. Either I can't express myself well because English is not my native language, or I have to explain everything in extreme detail to be understood here. I don't know. Comment. Can you say more about how you supported her? Did you tell her you were proud of her for the life she's building? That you would always love her and her child? That you recognize that she's an adult who can make her own decisions, and that you respect her right to do so? That you understand that what you might have envisioned for her life doesn't matter compared to what she actually wants? Opie. I told her I would always love her and her child. That was truth. I said I respected her decisions. That was a lie. I said that what I envisioned for her life was less important than what she wanted. That was a lie. Also, the only thing I envisioned for her life was to be an independent woman. 1. I lied because I didn't want her to be upset. 2. I think the opposite of my lies because I care about her. I was also with her at every hospital checkup. I often visited her, called her, asked her how she was doing, talked to her, calmed her down in times of stress. Comment. YTA. Empathy is a real thing. Imagine your parent told you they were disappointed in you. Would that feel good? Would that be valuable to you? Would it help? Surprise, surprise, no, it feels like shit. Guess what? You made your kid feel like shit. Opie. Actually, when I was young, my parents told me that you are a disappointment. Because I was doing very dumb things. I'm grateful to them now for scolding me because it made me turn my life around. Thank you for your judgment. Comment. I am 50 years old. I got pregnant at 19. My mom told me what you told me 30 years ago. I still remember that moment, as it haunted my thoughts for such a long time. Took me years and years of therapy to get over it. Decades of it. That day I learned love wasn't unconditional from her. I've never trusted her again with my inner self or allow myself to be vulnerable to her again. Apologize to your daughter. She needs to hear it. Opie. My love for my daughter is unconditional. I still love her. Still, I could have expressed my thoughts better. I'm thinking of apologizing to her. I hope the best for you. Reddit verdict is YTA. Update. Firstly, I would like to explain why this topic came up at the table and why I told my daughter more than the answer to the question she asked me. When my daughter and my wife were talking about motherhood, I kept quiet. There was always a silent tension between my daughter and me because of the decisions she made. That's why my wife wanted to bring me into the conversation and said that sentence. It was a poor attempt, but I don't blame my wife. His intention was to lighten the mood. My daughter knows that I love my grandson. She probably asked me again because she wanted to finally talk about the silent tension between us. So she was actually asking my opinion about her decision to become a mother and not to work. I think she thought she found an opportunity to talk about it. You may disagree, but I have known my daughter 23 years longer than you. Your comments have actually helped me understand my ideas better. I'm disappointed in my daughter's actions. Yes, but right now I worry more than I'm disappointed. I'm sure that one day her marriage will end. I can't explain in detail how I'm sure, but just assume that I'm very smart. Her husband doesn't have a high income and won't be able to support my daughter and grandson well enough. I won't be in her life forever, so I want her to have a career and be able to make money. I should have expressed myself better, you're right. I will apologize to my daughter for that and explain myself better. Also, my offer of a babysitter still stands. I hope that one day she will accept it. Edit. Since yesterday, I have received many comments about what a good father I am and what a terrible father I am. It's okay. In the edit, I said I would apologize to my daughter, which I did. It was a long conversation, but I don't have the time today, so I can't go into detail. Also, no matter how much I go into detail, some people here seem to be very interested in making things up, so it will be a wasted effort. In short, I apologized and explained to her that I'm more worried than disappointed. Thankfully, she understood. I reminded her again that I love her and will always be there for her. Also, my suspicions about their marriage turned out to be correct. They don't have a good marriage. Her husband has suggested therapy, but she doubts it will work. This time I didn't tell her what to do. I told her that I would support her in whatever she does. I told her that if she wants to go back to school or work, my offer of babysitter still stands, and if she wants more from me, I will always do it. So I'm still the best father ever.